Jay Massey is a full-time real estate investor. He's an entrepreneur.
He also teaches people how to find deals, raise capital for real estate investments.
Meeting Jay Massey in person, you'd think he's just a regular guy. He's got jeans and a t-shirt on and a pair of sneakers. But he's built up a multi-million-dollar empire.
I hope you do have an empty notebook because it's going home filled.
Jay gives back so much value that I've never seen.
Now, at this moment, when I'm looking at the kitchen, things are going through my head.
You want to be friends with him, and he treats you like you're the only person in the room, even though it's for the benefit of everybody.
This is how, when you ask yourself, how does Jay do it? This is how.
He tells people that they have to take action, and they have to take action now. I took the action, and the results have paid off.
What happens when the marketplace understands who we are and how we go out there? All right, peoples, how are you doing today? Hopefully things are going well. We are going to be trying some new stuff today for the Q&A, etc. Right now, though, do me a favor. Let me know that you can hear me. Everything on my end says you can. I need to make sure. And for those of you who could be watching, say, on YouTube or where else? Sorry, Periscope. Anywhere where you can see this stream, okay? Anywhere. You'll be able to actually ask a question. If everything works the way that we believe it to work, you'll be able to ask a question today in some way, shape, or form. Now, for those of you in the student group, you already know how this works. Feel free to go ahead and fill up the chat. And if you're chatting, again, and if you're chatting from anywhere, we should be able to see everybody's messages. So no more missing messages, I hope. So no more, I hope. So, but we shall see how this goes at the end of the day. But I don't know. That's why we're testing. So I see Gabrielle is here. How are you? Natasha, thank you. Natasha, thank you for letting me know that you can hear me because that is definitely something important as well. Now, what do you... That does it. Okay. One second, Dave. That statement, I don't know how to. That doesn't tell me anything. I don't know what it is or that you're hearing. So, Natasha, do me a favor. Right now, what you should be hearing, there should only be two things that you're hearing. You should be hearing me and very, very low music. If that's the answer, then that's great. Shauna Moore on YouTube. How are you? I am glad that you are able to hear as well. So I'm just making sure that the audio is what it is supposed to be. So again, no echoes, but definitely should be able to hear the music as well as myself. So if that's the case. Oh, got it. You're talking about that. 1 second. I can fix that, Dave. Got it. So all of the sound effects is what you're referring to. Got it. I just turned those off, so we should be good now. I totally forgot about that. Anyway, Natasha, thank you very much, and Dave, thank you for. There's so many things you can do nowadays with technology in terms of what you can control, and I have this new audio thing that literally allows me to control the audio based upon application, like literally per application, which is crazy to me if you ask. Anyway, so yes, I've got some things that I want to do in terms of an announcement. I'm going to show you guys some stats today because they're related to the announcement specifically for Thursday. Those of you who already know about the training that we're doing this Thursday, that's good. Let me see if I can pull that up for you guys because we are doing a training this Thursday. That's going to be this one. Nope, that didn't do it. And this is me learning a new software. There we go. And still the wrong screen, but closer. So we have an open house this Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you haven't already, you can go over to CashFlowDiary.com/analytics. and we'll do our best to make sure that you get the information so that you can attend. Now, if you've never attended one of our open houses before, how they typically work is there's an intense amount of training, and we also make sure that but it's usually on one particular topic. And this particular topic, while it says data analytics, and so some of you that puts you to sleep, what I want to make sure that you understand is we're going to answer some very important questions for you, because oftentimes people have the question, how much money does a short-term rental make? Can I make money with a short-term rental? How do I know that this short-term rental will make money? Or worse, or even more so, a number of you have a lot of experience and you're like, man, I just wish I could figure out how to get more money from the short-term rental. Well, we're going to do our best to answer all of those questions and more with data. So, because it's one thing to say, yeah, and we're going to talk about a little bit of that today as well. And then for those of you in the Southern California area, I have an opportunity for you too. So, I see Diego. Okay, got it. Diego is already jumping in here with a question. So let me come back. Let me see if I do that. I should be able to then do this. Yes. I feel like oh, nope. I got rid of Diego's question. That disappeared. Come back, Diego's question. How do I get Diego's question to come back? There we go. Figured it out. So, gotcha. Diego's question is back. It says, what is your opinion on the new Airbnb policy where a guest gets a 10% discount for foregoing any chance of a refund? Is it worth it to opt in? Thinking about SEO. Diego, great question. First of all, just a small language correction. It's not necessarily a policy as much as it is an opportunity when it comes to how you change your cancellation procedures. Now, having tested this, I tested this back in February and March and then in April. And unfortunately, the current implementation of it, I think it could be something that's great. So let me start with that. But the current implementation that they are using of it, I am just not a fan, because you don't necessarily get the bump in SEO that you're looking for, because there's a place there's a place where I want to be able to leverage the fact that there is no refund. And right now, the way that the no refund part works, it's no refund, but it's literally one step before checkout. So if they were to advertise like on a higher level that this one had a 10% discount for in some way, shape, or form, then that would be a way more valuable from a marketing standpoint. But because of the way they currently put it, it's definitely not something that I would even begin to think about. So anyway, thanks for asking the question. Feel free to type that in. Now, in a moment, guys, some of you, we're going to try dialing in questions, meaning no matter where you're watching right now, you'll be able to dial a phone number. I should be able to answer, and I should be able to hear you. You should be able to hear me, and the audience and everyone else watching should be able to hear you as well. Now, never done this before, but we're doing our best. As you can see, there are already some upgrades, because I see I'm getting messages about, oh my gosh, the question was on the screen. Yes, we can do that now. So there are some others. There are many more things that are coming. Oh, and I just now noticed my secret out of the way microphone was not so secret right there. So that was pretty funny for me right there. I saw that. Anyway, I definitely want to make sure that you guys know that we're dedicated here at CashFlowDiary to giving you the best experience we possibly can. All right. But if you do have a question, feel free to put it in the chat, because I would love to see it. I've seen YouTube now ask a question. I'm assuming the Facebook group is someone from the Facebook page. If you're out there, would love to see that as well. Now, for those of you who are in the Southern California area, what I wanted to say and talk about was this Thursday at 7 a.m. This Thursday at 7 a.m. This is what I am calling the "You Help Me, Help You, Help Me," and this is what I mean by that. I have often said and still say and subscribe to the fact that one of the ways you're going to be able to grow your short-term rental business is to develop direct bookings, by far some of the most profitable, period. And learning to cultivate and build additional services isn't going to hurt you either. being able to do that on a consistent basis and having the right vendors in place and knowing how you can do that with strategery, for lack of a better word, is something that every one of us needs. One of the best ways to do that I have found is an organization by the name of BNI, Business Networking International. And my BNI chapter meets on, that's right, Thursdays at 7 a.m. So here's what I'm asking those of you to do. Those of you who want to come to a networking event with me, learn how to leverage this particular system to help you build your business. I'm literally asking you to get in the car and drive, or airplane if you're so emboldened. And now if someone comes on an airplane, well, I don't know, we'll do something else as well. I don't want you to come all that way just for one networking meeting. Well, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But I'm not necessarily expecting anyone from an airplane, but it's happened before. That's why I'm saying it. So if you are so inspired, then come on down. We'll figure it out together. Now, with that being said, though, what my chapter is doing is we're having a contest, and it's based upon number of visitors, which is why I said, okay, what could I do? I was asking myself, and I know a number of you have ignored this advice, so I'm asking you to get in your car and come and meet me Thursday morning, 7 a.m. Breakfast is $20. Here is the information and address, if I've done this correctly. Yes, there it is. Okay, so you can, as you can see right there, the where did it go? It's at the Talega Golf Club in San Clemente. Now, I know some of you got to drive, and it's going to take some time to get there. That's fine. But once you're there, and in fact, so that you know, I've already got people confirmed coming from as far away as Woodland Hills. So, you know, hey, if you're coming from further, great. If you're like, oh, that's too far to drive, I don't think so, because many of you are probably closer. Well, many of you in Southern California. Most of you aren't. But even if you're not, I still want you to go. Go look up a local, let me show you, BNI.com. So go look up a local BNI chapter in your area, because they exist and they become a great way for you to build business. And as I've said, some of those additional services that you've been looking for, that you want to increase your revenue per guest and all this other stuff, that's especially stuff we're going to be talking about on Thursday at the training. This is one way that you can absolutely do that. All right. Now, I'm still not seeing more. I was expecting more questions by now, and I'm not seeing them, which makes me wonder if the comment thing is actually working. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to go check in a second. Perfect. Now we're back. So for those of you who, again, if you're watching on Facebook, awesome. Thanks. Glad that you're here. Some of you could be on Twitter or Periscope. Glad that you're here as well. If you're watching on YouTube, we are now able to see, I believe, everybody's chat, everybody's everything. So I'm looking forward to interacting with you. Now, one of the things that I mentioned earlier was Thursday at 11, we're doing a training around analytics. Well, analytics is important, and a lot of times people go, it's boring and I don't want to deal with it. So, but here's why it's important, and let me share I'm gonna share some of my own numbers with you from the last 30 days. Now, I'm gonna be very specific. In fact, the numbers I'm sharing with you are only from our activity just on one platform, in this particular case, Airbnb. We're on multiple platforms, but I'm only showing you the activity from one, so that when you're looking at the numbers, to give you some context, okay? And again, this is live last 30 days. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. That should be this one. Nope, I totally did that wrong. New software. We'll get there, guys. I appreciate your patience. Let's do, is it that one? There it is. Got it. So, what you're looking at here at this particular moment, I see how that works now. Hold on, let me clean this up a little bit so that you only need to see that one. There it is. And yes, Dave, in that sense, that what it was. Both shots were supposed to be there, but I just cleaned it up. Anyway, now that I've cleaned it up for you, this is what I'm talking about. So this is the last 30 days. But here's the question. Often I'll get questions like, And it's usually around occupancy. Someone will ask me, hey, I've got 70% occupancy. How do I get more? Well, there are times where 70% actually might be good for you and you just don't know it. And so you could be beating yourself up against a wall. In fact, sometimes your calendar, in fact, I can show you an example from our Facebook group because a student literally just asked this the other day. Or was that yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yep, there it is. So let me switch to that. Oh, I'm liking how this is working, guys. I really am. Switch to, boom. Okay, so right here, let me move this. Can I move that? I can move me. Haha, let's do that. How about that? So right here, what we have is a student was asking how it's been close to a month and he hasn't had a single booking. And I'll make this a little bit bigger for you just to make sure that you can read it as I do. So it's been close to a month and I haven't seen a single booking. Granted, I only have 6 days left in August. Okay, we're barely halfway through the month. And 0 for September. So what he's really communicating is that between today and the end of September, he only has 6 days available. And he's like, but it's been close to a month since I haven't seen a single booking. Now, the question is, should he be worried? With data, you can confirm whether or not he should be worried. And that's the thing. No more guessing, because when it comes down to looking at things like this, you can, because what will happen is that people will begin to comment. And if you're in a Facebook group where they're commenting, they'll say things like, well, I feel like things have been slowing down. Well, what is that based on? Compared to what? And if you don't have a compared to what or what it's based on, you're just guessing. And now you are running your multi-million-dollar enterprise on guessing. Vegas does that. That's called gambling, and we don't want you to be in that situation, which is why it's, in my opinion, it is imperative. It is mission critical for every business owner. I'm gonna switch to the other screen as soon as I figure out how to do it quickly. Oh, maybe I should just make 2 of those so I can switch faster. That's a good idea. Okay, so yeah. Is there no more? All right, so that you're making decisions based upon the actual numbers or what's going on in your business. So, for example, if you're looking at this, these are last 30 days, I'm showing you clearly that the average revenue per night was $3,529.78. The question is that good? Some of you would say, yeah, that's great. I'll gladly take that. However, before you get too excited, remember what I told you. I was intentionally showing you information just from one platform. But when you take information out of context like this and don't do compared to what, or put it into a piece of context like what I just told you, that it was one platform, you don't realize that that's actually not, for me, that is not a number I'm like, yay, about. Because what it's also telling me, that what that number in and of itself or out of context tells me, is that something actually went wrong, and it's actually a signal. Like if this was a report for the entire portfolio for all platforms, this would be a clue to go digging and looking for something that isn't right, because that I know that number should be higher, if that makes sense. Because in my world, not all of the revenue comes from one platform. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna click here. We're gonna click here. Did it go there? Not yet. I'm trying to get to the occupancy based upon just that platform, and then I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Occupancy. Is that right? Yes. Not yet. Because that's really what it comes down to, is the whole occupancy thing. Now, I'm also curious because I'm looking here. So there you go. The occupancy, just from, now this is, again, that's why I said it's from one platform, 62.58%. That's how I knew the number wasn't right. Okay. But at the same time, I can see that from the available listings and the nights occupied that we'll call it 2/3. Let's just round up 2/3 of the month, or 2/3 of the last 30 days, I should say, were occupied strictly from Airbnb. Okay, cool. Now that I can process that in context and have the correct emotion and or response. And that's really what understanding data is about. The data is there to help you answer questions. And if you don't know how to leverage your own data, A, collect this data, B, know what to do with it because you have it. So here's another example of what I'm talking about. When I look at this, the conversion rate, 46.40. Is that great? Is that bad? Compared to what? What about average time to conversion? 9 hours and 51 minutes. Now, is that good? Is that bad? Well, compared to what? And what do I do if I want it? What if I wanted to lower that? Or what if I saw that and said, oh man, it's taking us too long to actually go from inquiry to booking? Well, do you know what to do so that you can affect your business? What if that conversion rate was too low? What if it was too high? What if it was too high? Because some of you are thinking, man, I'd want my conversion rate to be 100%. Well, I can tell you right now, if your conversion rate's 100%, you are likely underselling your nights and days and reservations, right? So you should have, not everybody should be like, yes, that's a great deal. There should be some people who get turned away. You should have a decent decline rate even. All of these things can tell you what to do about your business to make it bigger, better, faster. And this is the type of stuff we're going to show you on Thursday. In fact, here's another one. Message volume, right? Some of you are wondering about your staff. When do I hire them? Are they working hard? Do I really need someone from midnight to 5 a.m.? What's that look like? This is where you can learn how to put this together. See, don't get me wrong. I know many of you, you've been in the short-term rental game for a little while. Maybe you've made some money, and that's wonderful. Congratulations, and I commend you for getting started and making it happen. Yet, now it's time for you to step into the professional ranks. Professionals understand their numbers. They know where the numbers come from. They understand the flaw in their numbers, and most importantly, what to do when those numbers don't reflect what they expected, hoped for, desired to achieve, and they also can leverage those same numbers to know when they should be congratulating themselves, their staff, and vendors, or whomever else is involved inside of the organization. So I'm hoping that gives you an understanding really clearly of why we want you to come to the training this Thursday. Again, you can go to cashflowdiary.com/analytics. And when you get there at Cashflow, where's that? This one. When you get to cashflowdiary.com/, oh, well, that didn't work. There it goes. Cashflowdiary.com/analytics. What you will see is what you see over there, technically on the right. When you see this. Yep. So you'll see this. You'll go ahead and put your name and email address in there, and then we will follow up with the appropriate details. I will be there. CMO Dave will also be there to guide everyone through more data, information, and to make sure that you are able to go out there and literally crush it. But not only that, know how to crush it. And as an added bonus, many of you are wondering, how do I get access to more capital? How do I raise it? Well, that is also in the data. So if you want to know stuff, how to leverage your data to make that happen, or leverage someone else's data, maybe you haven't gotten started yet, you definitely want to go to cashflowdiary.com/analytics so that we have a shot at helping you understand all of those things this Thursday at 11 o'clock. Now, I am excited / nervous to try this next thing, because I'm also wondering if the chat is still working or not, because I haven't seen a new comment in a while, which makes me nervous. So I'm over here looking to see. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more. Someone comments something, anything, just the word something would be fine, because I just want to make sure. Yeah, see? Erg. I can see some of the comments coming in from, is there a way to refresh the comments? That's a good question. Sorry, guys. Patience for the testing. We're trying to make sure that we can be in as many places as humanly possible. And interesting. Why am I not getting? Okay, it looks like I'm not getting the comments from the student group. And I have no idea why that would be. Because there's a ton of comments over there. There's a ton of people over there. Y'all everywhere. Okay, so we're going to figure this out, but I'm getting them from YouTube and I'm getting them from Facebook. Les Lobo, thank you. Jamil, thank you. Chat. You guys are awesome. Okay, so for some reason, one of the places where we're live streaming from, I'm not seeing your I'm actually not seeing your messages, so I'm gonna go there directly. Just give me 1 second so I can pull that up. Why is it that particular Facebook group? That's like literally the reason we're doing this. Okay, let me pull this up here directly. Just give me 1 second. There we go. All right. So I now have access to all of the questions that have been coming in from the student group, and I still have access to everyone else. So if you have an additional question, please feel free. Now, for those of you in the student group, unfortunately I won't be able to bring it on the screen, which was like the entire thing I wanted to be able to do here. And I have. So we're gonna go back to testing and figuring that out. Now, for those of you in the student group, then here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to do and take part in this next experiment. What you now should see on the screen is a phone number. I want someone from the student group, oh my God, to call that number so that I can, hopefully, you can hear me, I can hear you, everyone will hear you, and we can chat about your question, okay? So I'm gonna keep answering some other questions. I'm gonna sit here, wait for this thing to ring, and hope that I got it right. Oh, technology, this is great. So 949-273-2274. Please, who wants to be the guinea pig? First person to give it a shot. All right, Nevin, I see this. Thank you. We need to talk about your font selection. Dave, seriously? What's funny though, Dave, so that you know, is that I was like, I knew of all the people, I picked it because I was hoping that Dave. Oh, whoa, that's loud. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay. Hello?
Hi, Jay. This is Nevin.
Hey, Nevin. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
You can hear me. This is great.
Yes.
Okay,
it's
hold on
loud
1
and
second.
clear.
What I need to see is that I need to see if the guests, if the people watching us, can you guys see? I'm waiting for someone to type that, yes, I can hear Nevin. So, Nevin, say something. Oh my God. Okay.
Hey, guys.
All right, guys, I need to know that you can hear Nevin. I can hear him, which is great. I'm hoping you can hear him too. If you did hear him, please let me know. Wow, that's loud compared. Yeah, okay, you can hear both. That's great. We can hear him just a little doubled up. Well, I don't know what you mean by doubled up, but I'll listen to the recording and go back. Okay, cool. There's some distortion. Okay, I will do. Again, I think I got it. All right, go ahead, Nevin. What you got?
Yeah. Two questions. The first one is, currently I have a cleaning company that's doing my cleaning, and they are doing an awesome job. My second question is, should I hire a backup cleaning company?
Got it. So when it comes to, okay, well, I will answer that question in just 1 second. Dave, I just realized I created a problem because people are still calling. We need a better way of putting people on hold so that they can call back in or something. I have no idea how to do that, but hey, this is working. So Nevin, the answer to your question is something I learned. I grew up overseas and military kid. And it's a very simple phrase. 1 is none, 2 is done. And it's a way of saying that if you only have 1 of something, it's like having none of it. And if you have 2, then you're finished. Because you don't want to have a single point of failure. Does that make sense? And if you only have
Okay.
one cleaning company, you have a single point of failure. The moment that he or she can't show up, the moment that they get sick, the moment they want to go on vacation, it's going to be a huge inconvenience. And you know the time it took you to find them, train them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Make sense?
Yeah, but this is this current company that I'm working with. They
Yes.
have about 10 cleaners,
Yep.
and they send the person who's in charge is kind of in the process of training their employees right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
But even okay, so here's my point though. Even if they have even if they have 10 cleaners, you only have relationship with one person, the company, so to speak. Does that make sense? You
got
still
it,
have
got
a
it.
single point of failure because there's only one company that you can call. If for some reason something goes wrong with here's a very likely and possible situation. They send you your invoice, you pay your invoice, but for whatever reason, check gets lost in the mail, transfer doesn't go through. Their accounting then believes you didn't pay your invoice, and then they stop service. And now all of a sudden you don't know this, and for whatever reason, the email that they sent you that said, "Hey, we need you to pay or we're going to stop service," got missed. Now what happens? Because you wake up one day, maybe you're at work, maybe you're on vacation, maybe you're just not paying attention to the business, and all of a sudden cleaners don't show up. And you find out because the new guest arrives and you're like, "Yo, guys, what's going on?" So you're calling them going, "You let me down." And they're like, "Dude, we haven't got paid." That's a very possible situation. And then now what? How long does it take to get that fixed? I don't know. But my point is, having a backup never is going to hurt you. It only makes your company stronger. And if you're ever trying to pursue capital or an investment, you need to have that backup as well, so that the person who's writing that check or what have you also understands that you're running that way. Does that make sense?
Yes, that sounds perfect. And my second question is, I'm in the process of, I went to a BNI meeting, and this was my first time, and I did my presentation, and they were kind of very interested. A lot of investors, that were there were kind of interested to invest with me.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, going forward, if these people are ready to invest with me to so that I open multiple short-term rentals, what sort of paperwork do I use? Because I'm kind of also going through the capital training, and there is a lot of information. I mean, a lot to go through. It's like overwhelming. So I was wondering if there is some paperwork, or do you have a Reader's Digest version or something like that?
Got it. Let me catch everybody up. So what Nevin's a current student of CashFlowDiary. I have done real estate in multiple states and in multiple places all across, and I've raised tens of millions of dollars, all kinds of deals. We created a course that helps people raise capital. That's what he's referring to. He's like, "Man, there's just too much here." And Nevin, there is a shorter version of that course that's called the Crash Course. You should have access to it. If you don't, just email Della. She'll be able to assist you with that since you're already a student. Learning to raise capital is a process, to say the least. And the forms that you're talking about for your deal structure, that is in the financing section in the blueprint. There's only 3 different types of deal structures that I tend to recommend, if any, and they're all there.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Cool, no problem. All right, so guys, that was the first time we had someone call in. I kind of like that. I'm assuming someone's going to take his place in a moment. I don't really know. And I'm also seeing some of the feedback regarding the audio. We will definitely look into it. We are just trying to get better for you guys so that so that we can just get better. And this is our first attempt at it, so hopefully that's good. Let me get to some more of the questions in the Facebook group. Billy, what's up? He says the studio looks fantastic. Now, Billy, I am very excited to show off the rest of the studio. There is basically what we've done here is basically each wall has a completely different look and feel, so that based upon whatever's behind me, we can create a completely different thing going on. So I'm excited to show off the rest of this place to you guys as well. But thank you for sure. Let's see, Van, I can hear you. Sarah, what's going on? Clear. Are you still using the Nest thermostats in your units? If so, have you migrated to Google Home app to use the Nest thermostats in multiple units? Got it. No. All right. So one, the answer is yes, and the answer is also no. Here's what I mean by that. I am testing right now in our newest units that there's a Honeywell device to see how confusing it is, because it just came with the apartment. So this particular apartment community actually had smart thermostats already installed. However, they know that if I'm not happy, I'm going to replace them. And the Vivint, sorry, I actually gave you the answer. For the Nest, the thermostats that we are using, they're connected to the Vivint panels. So again, it's all under one display, no additional app, and our staff can remotely still access and use them. So, like the new artwork behind me. Yes, Latanya has outdone herself. Maybe we got to do like some sort of a live stream studio tour thingy. I don't even know what to call it. Alan, what's going on? It says, hey Jay, on the financing module, appropriate, there's talk of a JV partnership using a simple document to get it set up. What document is it specifically? Or if there are formats, how to do it? Got it. The document is honestly, it's called the JV agreement, Alan. And it's one of the more simple forms of entity formation, if you will. And again, we all know the reason you don't find the documents because I'm not an attorney. I can't actually give you one because that could be construed as giving legal advice, which again, I'm not qualified for. Now, with that being said, Google search could reveal such a device, such a document now. And I'm not saying you use that document, but I am saying that it is always cheaper to start with, to give your attorney a document to pull from as opposed to a blank sheet. Now, many attorneys today, they probably already have such a thing, but there's still a few phone calls involved for sure. But a JV document is usually 1, maybe 2 pages at most. They're easy to form, easy to dissolve, and typically don't provide much in the way of asset protection, but they can get the job done. So with that being said, though, definitely talk to your attorney. They'll be able to help you out with that. Hey, Talitha, how are you? Susan, what's going on? Jamila, how are you? Kendra, see, these are the comments that I don't understand why. Well, here's the good news. For those of you on YouTube and Facebook at the other places, I see Keith Jones is here. You guys can comment, and I can bring those on screen. I don't know. All of the comments were supposed to be able to do this, but I don't know why. Gabriel says I'm breaking up. That's not good. I don't see anything that says on my screen. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything at this particular moment. And we'll take another call in a second, okay? Because I want to try that again. Linda, hello, how are you? YouTube comments are showing up on the screen over the video as a pop-up. Yes. Are they right now? No, they're not. Question. We need to talk about your font show. Yes, Dave, don't even start. Wow. Yeah. Can hear Nevin. Perfect. I called and said you were busy to leave a message. I can hear Nevin. Linda, I'll give you a second in just a moment. Overall, the volume is low. No one has ever complained about that before, but I turned it up just a tad. Oh no, that's the headphones. Whoops. There we go. I just turned me up a little bit, so hopefully, John, that will help. Let's see. Jay, what is the document? Oh, I already saw that. Your studio looks amazing. Brandon, you should come over. You should see the rest of this. I'm pretty fired up. Jamila, no, you're not. Thank you. Hey, Larry, what's going on? All right, so I don't see any more questions at the moment. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a caller, I hope, and maybe even have a slightly better audio experience than we had last time. So let's see. How do I get the number on the screen again? I forgot how to put the number on the screen, guys. Oh, there it is. So come on in, 949-273-2274. 949-273-2274. And I appreciate your patience as we what is this? Is this the Pardon Our Dust Q&A? I think so. That's what it is. It's the Pardon Our Dust Q&A. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Maybe it just takes a while to dial, but someone will call. I know. And then I think I've got it all. What's this? Oh, no. I'm just scrolling back through, making sure I didn't miss any other questions, guys. All right. So for those of you who got here later, just a quick reminder, if you're in Southern California, BNI this Thursday, 7 a.m., come on down. And if you're going to be passing through Southern California, it's a great place to stop by anyway. We're still doing a training this Thursday at 11 on data analytics. Let me show you where that is. There you go. You can go to cashflowdiary.com/analytics, put in your name and email, and we'll be able to get you the details. We'll start at 11. It's going to be lots of cool, juicy data tidbits that will help you grow your business. That's the goal. That's the point. Honestly, that's why we do it. So it'll be fun I know I plan on having some fun. Dave will be there, which means there'll be even more fun. And who knows? You'll learn a lot of things too. So if you've got a question, and if you're on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere, if you can see this stream, we are testing one of our new features we're trying to do here with an audio call-in. 949-273-2274. Wouldn't it be fun? Yeah, that would be funny. Now, if you actually, you know what? Here's a second type of test that I would love to run. If someone is currently on Skype, like you're actually on Skype, I would love to see if we could do the Skype to Skype call where we can see you and hear you at the same time. If you want to do that, you would have to Skype at Mr. J Massey, MR, the letter J, Massey. Would love to see that happen because that would be fun if it happened. or not. It could break. I have no idea. So let me go back to the questions. Oh, here we go. Hello, this is Jay.
Hi, Jay. This is Kamika calling. I'm new to the group.
Hey, Kamika. How are you?
Good. I have a question about REITs. I haven't gotten my first unit yet, and I wanted to know, a lot of the apartments that I've been looking at that are close to where I live are being managed by these huge property management companies. Does that automatically mean that it is a REIT-controlled building?
It does not automatically mean that. The best way to find out because the REIT, that when I say REIT, I'm referring to the ownership structure of the actual building or complex in and of itself. So oftentimes, in fact, I'm going to show you on the screen what, let me see. I'm going to go to an apartment complex and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Perfect. All right. So what happens is that, let me see, I'm gonna just think of, oh, you know what? Irvine Village Apartments. So this is an apartment complex that is near me, Irvine Village, the Village Apartments at Irvine Spectrum, to be very specific. When you go to the company's website, like so, what you can do is when you scroll towards the bottom, usually at the bottom is where you can begin to find out if they're owned or if they're a REIT. Now, the Irvine company in and of itself is still a private company, okay? So that's why it looks this way. Oftentimes, when it's a publicly traded company, because that's usually what I'm referring to, you're gonna see a lot more in terms of what, like, for example, here's another one, equity residential. And when you scroll towards the bottom here, you see things like that, say, for example, right here where it says corporate info for investors. These can be the clues that this is probably a REIT or a larger company. Just because it's one of the nicer, larger buildings in town doesn't necessarily mean it's a REIT. And I've seen a lot of these, like in Salt Lake City, where it looks like you would think it's a REIT, but it's actually still individually owned. Sometimes when you see them, they could be managed by a company that is also, like a REIT sometimes has excess capacity inside their staff, so they'll manage properties for other owners. So I'm talking about the buildings that are owned, very specifically owned by a natural person, usually one or two people. Maybe there's a small group of friends who got together, but typically the property manager on site has direct access to the owner. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Perfect. What else you got?
That was it. That was my only question.
No problem, Kamika. Welcome to the group. And just out of curiosity, where in the world are you?
I am in Baltimore County in Maryland.
Oh, got it. Maryland. Be more. Yep. I like
Yes.
it. That's awesome. That's
Yes.
cool. Hitting out. So
And
it's
also, I
yes.
wanted to get your take on something else. Now that I think about it, like where I'm in the suburbs, so I've noticed that there's a lot of development in the area. And actually, I just saw a news article that says Marriott is planning to build this huge hotel like 5 minutes away from me, and there's going to be a brand new high-rise apartment building. So from my standpoint, I think, okay, that means that my area is, I guess, ripe, for lack of a better word, for short-term rental business, because so much activity and so much development is going on. A lot of new stores are coming into the area. They're building a new mall out here.
Yes. All of those things are the right kinds of signs. Does that make? I mean, so you're looking at the right stuff. But is there a particular question though, or what am I missing?
No, I was just asking. I was saying, would you agree that yes, because of all
Got
of this
it.
activity, then it would make this area, very good to do the short-term rental
Got it.
business.
So yeah, here's an easy way of looking at it for not only for you but for everybody anywhere, regardless of the country you're in, because we have some students over in Ghana, Nigeria, Zurich, etc. One of the things that is a sign, quote unquote, is if they're still building traditional accommodations like an additional hotel or B&Bs or what have you in the area, let's just say that Marriott has a few dollars in their pocket and they do a lot of research before they do that. Does that make sense, Kamika?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, and they're not going to randomly go, well, gee, we hope this one works. and because of
Right.
that, then you can be pretty certain that they're making a decision based upon, again, data. And they've leveraged that data. They've raised the capital necessary. And now what they're doing is taking action. You're just now seeing it. In fact, the plans for what you're just now seeing probably started 5, 6, 7 years ago. You're just now seeing it. So, and if you ever want to get ahead on some of this stuff that's happening out there and be more, just go to the city council meeting. Okay. And well, before you actually go look at the agenda. Most of the agendas at most city councils are published online. And if you can, see what they're going to talk about. And oftentimes there's always this ginormous section of real estate developments that are happening where the real estate developers are either asking for what are known as variances, or which is aka special permission to not do what's already in the zoning code, because maybe they are building, something grand, and they're just now applying for that process, and they're not planning to break ground for 3, 4, 5 years. But all the detail and the information is right there, and then you have the opportunity to go, well, shoot, I know this company is planning on building this over here in about 4 years. Everybody else may not know that yet. And that's what can give you in your business a very good strategic advantage. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Cool. Excellent. Well, thank you for calling in and participating in the experiment. And more importantly, thank you for taking on your life and doing something with the information.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
All right, talk to you later. Guys, as you can't tell, I'm kind of jazzed and excited about this right now. So I'm pretty fired up about being able to interact and talk with you this way. We're doing our best to clean up the audio. Diego is telling me right now, he's like, hey, that was much better audio quality than the first time. So I'm pretty excited about that. Thank you for those kind words, Diego. If you've got a question, give us a call, 949-273-2274. And or type in the Facebook group. Hold on, let me get back over there. Make sure I haven't missed a question that I didn't see. Okay. Got it. And we will also work on why does that Facebook group not have, why can I not see your questions coming in? Oh, here we go. Man, that's loud. Hello, this is Jay.
Hey, how you doing, Jay? This is Matthew from Miami, Florida.
Matthew from Miami, how are you?
I'm doing well, yourself?
Good. It sounds like you're driving. Please tell me you're being safe.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay.
Definitely. I'm driving because I recently, and this, obviously my question, I went to go look at some units today, and, your videos has helped tremendously. Thank you for sharing the information. It's definitely helped. It's pushed me to take, that leap of faith and go, take some action. And so I went to go look at some units. And through your advice, through your videos, the pitch went very well. I got some property managers to say, okay, we're willing to do everything. But I ran into some trouble because they were requiring, to put the lease under a company. Some things that, unfortunately, because I'm just starting, I don't have.
What do you mean?
So, for example, 1 year in business, they're looking for, at least 3 lines of credit, open, revolving lines. And so those types of things, obviously, I don't have yet. So I'm trying to see, your take and your advice on this.
Yeah, got it. No problem. Totally understood. That is a very common thing when it comes to trade lines is what they're asking for. And we have totally dealt with that because you're like, I don't have that. I've never used that before. And you're like, I'm starting out right now. I 100% understand. And that I had a very similar problem because paid everything cash. That's just kind of what you do, right? And I'm like, I don't bother with credit. Why does that matter? You want me to pay the rent all up front right now? I don't understand. So, but I had the exact same issue. And here's how we began to resolve that and how a number of students have resolved it. So here's what I would encourage you to do. Definitely, I've still ask them, hey, look, well, here's what I would like to do. I want to still put the lease in the name of the entity because, again, you just have liability issues. And what it comes down to is just say the word insurance because that's really what it is you want to make sure that your insurance company sees the entity name on the lease. Now, what they're concerned about is, will you pay? And what I would do and what I have done and would encourage you to consider is to then you become the guarantor, the cosigner, if you will, for the company, right? So in the same way that 2 individuals, like, you could co-sign a car for your child, not that I'm telling you to do that one, but in the same way that you could, what I am saying is that you can be a co-signer or a guarantor in this particular case for your corporation since it's new. Oftentimes, that can carry this particular situation across the finish line. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot. That's a great idea.
I try, man. I do try. So it has worked for a number of students, myself included, because again, I had the same problem. Because again, when you learn to raise your own capital and you don't use bank loans and you buy a bunch of real estate, you don't have need for credit. So it's like, you're like, okay, what are you going to do? And so it was really perplexing to me because I didn't understand why those trade lines were so important, but they are. And we also have partnered with some people who help our students build those trade lines as well. So although, yes, this could work to help you get started, you should still begin building the trade lines because you're going to want to do that over time anyway, just to make your life easier. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. No problem. Drive safe, and thanks for calling in. Oh,
Thank you. Take care.
Quite welcome, sir. Quite welcome. Guys, this is so great for me. You have no idea how excited I am right now. I can only I can bet even Dave's going to call me after this one and say, wow, that's a great idea. Now we just got to figure out how to do it better and get better font, because clearly it's all about the font, baby. Anyway, Alan says, I started out my first unit with Airbnb's recommendations on prices. Who told you to do that? Time and amenities. I also believe it was 20% off the first 3 guests. Got it. My question is, when should I start raising prices? Now. Got it. So if you're, all right, couple of things. If you're going to be using the Airbnb recommend, or one, please don't use I have not found their pricing engine to be what it needs to be. So smart pricing, Airbnb, if you're watching, it's still not good enough. Sorry. So don't use that. And if you're going to use the 20% off, increase your initial prices approximately 25% more than you would have otherwise. That's what I do. I literally start higher and I start about 25% higher, give them the 20% off, and the people, so at the end of the day, the net effect is what it needs to be. I have got to figure out how to get that to be lower. Oh, God. Woo. Oh, this is Jay.
I literally start higher.
Hello?
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 Hey, this is Jay.
Hi, how are you?
I can hear myself in the background. Can you turn? It sounds like you're watching on another device. If you could turn that down, that would be very helpful. Thank you. All right, go ahead. What's your question?
I just did.
Yep.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah, no problem. What's your name? Where are you from?
Well, my name is Tariq. I'm from Montreal.
Oh, Canada. Bring it on.
I've been watching most of your YouTube videos, and you're one of the. You've been very helpful in helping me set up my business. I got 5 units up until now.
What?
I began in April.
Crushing it,
Yeah.
loving it, like it.
So, and at this time, because I'm scaling my business, I'm having some issues with managing employees. This is the first time. This is my first business that I'm running, and I find that my cleaners, I go in and I check in on all my cleaners. I see that it's not picture perfect always, and it's always there are always issues with cleanliness. Like, for example, hidden maybe some hairs on the floor, or maybe the sink is not cleaned perfectly, and I'm kind of I'm not really sure if I'm being very what's the word if I'm trying to if I'm kind of pushing my cleaners too hard, because I don't have kind of a vantage point from where you see where how other businesses are operating and how they're handling the cleanliness issues with their employees. So I was just wondering if you could just offer some perspective, because we have 40 to 50 units that if you start and you're doing rental arbitrage. Just wondering what's your perspective on this issue, because I think you outsource all of it to a head of housekeeping that you have in your business.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. And at the same time, however, your quality control can never slip. And if you aren't happy with it, then that's what's important. Okay, so let's just be very clear. The hair, that's not acceptable ever. Not in my world. I don't care if it's on. I don't care what it's on. There's just not acceptable.
I know.
And here's the reason that you're feeling this right now is, do you have? Let me ask. Do you have a backup cleaner right now?
Well, for 5 apartments, we have 3 cleaners because they're in 3 separate locations, and so I divide the work up among them.
Okay, so hold on.
Do it.
Because they're in 3 separate locations, are they that far apart geographically that cleaner A can't go clean this unit that cleaner B does? Is that what you're telling me?
Not in the same day.
Yeah. Okay. See, and that's the fundamental issue that we're having. So basically, what you have is you have 3 completely separate operations going on, and you don't have a backup cleaner for each of those geographic areas. My very clear and recommendation to everyone when you're starting out is you want to keep all of your units near each other, as close together at the beginning as humanly possible, because then it's easier to build not only the main cleaner, but the backup cleaner, and then eventually the backup for the backup cleaner, because you never want to be in a position as the operator as afraid to fire someone because of poor performance. And that's what you're telling. That's what I'm hearing right now is like, what do I do when I'm this far spread apart? And what's worse is you did the work to find 3 cleaners, but cleaner A can't help cleaner C out, because I'm willing to bet one of those cleaners is actually really good, and you wish they were cleaning the other one. And now you're, yeah, exactly. So you want, if possible, and I'm not saying it is, but if it is possible, I would look into getting all of your units to be closer together so that you can then have teams actually reach economies of scale and get some leverage in that system so that you can have a backup cleaner. There's just no way of, there's no circumventing it. You have to have single points of failure. An airplane has 2 wings for a reason. You gotta have it. Not having it, you're toast.
Right, that's it basically. Because I mean, after a cleaner finishes with 1 unit, you must have somebody else come in and do an independent check.
Yes.
Just to make sure that everything is okay with that unit. Because you can't just leave it to somebody and expect it to go smoothly though.
Well, and that's the thing. Even if, and for anyone who has a cleaning company and you're watching, you all know, just be real. Over time, performance degrades. And if you want something to be good, and it starts out good, but it starts to go south, it started to go south, and unless we continue to have accountability, it will continue to go south. There's a reason that, government taxes they have a due date, because otherwise very few of us would voluntarily go and say, yes, I can't wait. That accountability is required in this particular case, and you've got to institute that. You're the CEO. What is that accountability process going to look like? And that's what you need to put it together. But the fundamental issue is that you're too spread out to make that process efficient. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, that maybe I should get 10 in one location and 10 in another and 10 in another.
Now we're talking.
That way I have a head cleaner in each location.
Now we're talking.
And they take care of me, basically training people, and then, so that's how I guess it has to grow.
Yes.
But linens are also a big issue because they began to show up a few months after I put up my first unit, stains on linen. And so what I do is I have a runner who basically drops off all the laundry to my apartment, and I do the laundry. I use OxyClean to remove all the stains. And it's a lot of work basically, because I spend maybe about a lot of time to do the laundry myself and remove the stains.
I just want to be really clear that I have never told you to do that one.
No. But I'm just saying, how does a business at your level, how does it operate? What do you do with the with stain removal, and how do you handle this process?
Got it. It comes down to, so it from an operational standpoint, what you've got to understand, you must have a central storage location. Okay. And then once you have that central storage location where all supplies, all laundry, all these things can be, then you're now free to begin to work with other types of vendors, be they fluff and fold, delivery, dry cleaning, etc. And depending on what your needs are, if you're talking about stain removal, now you're developing a process whereby the stained stuff gets separated before it actually goes to get cleaned, but it's just done in a very systematic fashion. Inside I'm making an assumption right now. Inside of the mastermind materials that we provide, there you have what we call our dashboard, and it's literally a checklist of how to build efficient processes so that anybody can follow them, i.e. not me. I don't want to follow them. I just want someone who can follow them. And that's the only way I'm able to sit here and do this with you today, is because I have the time to figure out all of the technology, etc., and still sit here without having to worry about how many people arrived today, how many sheets got stained or dirty, and are they in their right spot. But go back into your materials, go to the dashboard. In the dashboard, there's an entire section, where we actually developed a process to teach you how to build your own custom processes for things like linen.
Yep. It's got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Cool. Well, I definitely
Thank
appreciate.
you very much.
No problem. Definitely appreciate you calling in. And guys, that was great. Susan says the look on your face says it all right now, Jay. He does his own. Yeah. Yes. Sometimes, you know what? My wife tells me this all the time. She's like, I can't hear what you're saying because your face is so loud. Well, it is what it is. Here we go. Hello. Oh, yes. Oh, perfect. This is great. All right, so I want to try this. Here we go with the experiment. Oh, boy. Oh, I hope this works. Got it. Okay, one more. And 7. No. Wrong one. That's this. Click this. I'm too busy clicking so many things, guys. You have no idea. My screen's a mess. All right. John, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can, but I can't. I don't see you. I don't understand why that is. This is interesting. There we go. There we go. I got it now. What's that?
I said I don't see you. I see your profile picture.
You don't see me? Oh. Well, I don't know what that's about. That's weird. I see. You see that. Okay, hold on. Now you should see everything.
Yes, I see everything now.
Perfect. Awesome.
I see me and the entire screen. Okay,
yes,
cool.
Perfect. This is awesome. Sorry, I'm a little excited today. What's going on, man?
No, this is great. So, sorry about the bad video, but I thought it'd be the guinea pig for you.
Yes, I appreciate that. I needed somebody to do it.
So we talked about earlier. I'm trying to get some longer bookings.
Yes.
And we were successful in closing one of those. Yay.
Oh, yeah.
However, I've discovered that this type of client is a little different. So we've become very efficient at serving people that are staying for 3 nights or staying for 4 nights or staying for a week, and their expectations are different.
Yes.
This type of client specifically, they're having work done in their home. It's an insurance claim type situation.
Oh, love these.
Yeah, and so they're staying for a month, maybe 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But they tend to. I've discovered that this type of client tends to have a kind of different expectation. So they almost treat it as if it's a traditional rental.
Okay.
Meaning they want to come look at it. They want to say, hey, is this where I want to stay for the next 3 months?
Got it.
They want extra things. Like, for example, we do homes. So at this particular location, typically we don't do things like provide the garage door opener, which isn't a problem for somebody that's staying 3 nights. They come in the house, they have to open it from the inside. It's not a huge deal. But now they want, hey, we want 2 garage door openers because it's my wife and I. We want keys to the interior garage door. Here are things that we think need to be repaired in the unit, type things that are more, they're minor. For example, I have a ceiling fan where the decorative piece that goes to the ceiling has come down a little bit. They want that fixed.
Sure.
There's a sink where it's a little harder to turn on the water. They want that fixed.
Okay.
What was the other thing? It's stuff like that. It feels much more to me like a traditional renter, and it's almost like they're in that mindset. Yeah, a light bulb was out on the back porch. Of course, we took care of it, but they're higher maintenance.
They can, well, especially at the beginning of that first week of them getting there is you are 100% accurate, because even we had to figure out how to get them extra key fobs for any gates and doors and all this other stuff. So, but let me ask this question specifically around the garage remote. At this particular location, do you have Vivint installed?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know that Vivint can add garage functionality? And then
they can.
And they can control it from their phone.
We actually had a system installed today. They have a you can control it by the app.
Yeah.
But they don't have a keypad.
No, there's
that
not a
you can install.
keypad. Yeah, you are correct. So it'll be a bit of a manual process to remove their access, so to speak. But they can control the garage door with their phone, which is cheaper than tracking down 2 garage remote controls once they haven't left it behind. Does that make sense? And it gives you.
So you would suggest maybe giving them mobile access then?
That's exactly what I would do. In this particular case, because of this particular customer, that's exactly how I would handle that one 100%. And let me go one step further, because in my world, when we were using a key fob, I normally charge for that second one if they want another one, but I just gave it to them because and I'm just guessing here that this is probably one of the most profitable reservations you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So I have,
because they're not paying for it, so they don't care.
I know. That's why I love them. That's why I love them. And so I will take that trade-off. I know when we are first getting in that this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with, there's going to be a little bit of that extra move-in stuff that they're going to want and need. However, after that first week, they go darn near silent until, and this is the key thing I wanted to let you know, until it gets close to time for their reservation to end. What you need to be is you need to be in consistent, constant contact with them, the person staying there, and the agent who actually arranged it, who's been talking to the actual insurance company on their behalf, because you want to make sure you want to stay on top of the process. How are those repairs coming? Oftentimes, almost every reservation, they will need to extend. I can't think of one that I've had that left on time. Almost all the time. And you don't want to not say anything, because what will likely happen is, because you have the efficient system, it'll get booked. And then you'll be like, dang it. And you don't want that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. So the way we have structured that so far is we actually created 3 reservations for them, month-long ones. And so within 2 weeks of the next reservation, because of the cancellation policy, they need to let us know. I mean, they're free to cancel it. Basically, they have to give us 2 weeks
so you
notice.
went ahead and secured the reservation then, and then you're just going to take advantage of the cancellation policy if they don't need it, with 2 weeks notice.
Yes, or if they cancel within 2 weeks, then no harm, no foul.
Got it. I see.
But that's the way we handled it.
That's cool.
Because
That's
that
fine too.
fit our system.
Yeah, that's
that we
fine.
had on it.
I just wanted that. My concern was that you knew that they are likely to extend, and that you didn't get your calendar blocked before, and because those reservations are great. I mean, they're just money all day long.
Oh, it's great. It's reserved for them for the next 3 months.
Right?
So
You kind of like,
stay.
stay. Yeah, totally.
But it does. We've had traditional rentals, and it does feel very much like that. When somebody first moves in, they hit you with every little thing.
I agree.
And then you're right, they go quiet. So I was just, my initial thought was, do I stick to what we normally do, or do I accommodate?
No, you accommodate for 2 reasons. One, and it's not even so much, well, yes, it's good for the review, but it's really because the agent that's the go-between has a lot of say-so in who they call, because understand that agent every day, his or her job is to find a place for someone like that to stay. They're literally spending someone else's money on housing every day. So you want them, the person who's actually staying there, to have a great relationship with you, because then what'll happen is they'll always talk positively to the agent on your behalf. And that's what you want. You want that agent, you want to make that agent's job as easy as possible. Okay, yes, you'll occasionally get some difficult people, but you never want the difficulty to be you to be the source of that difficulty. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but no, you are hitting on something that we're going to be talking a lot about inside of the student group, because the people in the next step group, we have begun to develop some things that are really awesome on this one part right here, because
I just found I'm having to handle them differently, and we did accommodate them to say, hey, yeah, you can come look at it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. They're worth
We
it.
did some things we don't normally do.
It's
but
completely
it got us the
worth it.
reservation.
Exactly. And this is where we can really, because of our systems, we can actually outshine nearly everyone else, because most people aren't even designed to respond as quickly as we can. And because we can respond quickly, the agencies that they see that, and you're in this period of uncertainty where your own house is not livable and you are seeking certainty as quickly as humanly possible. So the faster you can give them certainty, because that's really what you're selling at this point, the sooner you can get them certainty about whatever it is, the better. And that's why you win. So when you can get the agent certainty on the price, that's when you'll win. When you can get them certainty on availability, that it looks like something similar to what they would be used to, you will continue to win, because I don't know if you've ever been displaced from a flooded house or what have you, but you are literally craving stability at that moment, and you will take it the first place you can, because you don't want to take the risk of trying to comparison shop at that moment and end up with something totally horrible. But good job. I'm curious, how much was it for?
This one, and of course, this is Charlotte market, so it's $3,400 a month. But the rent there is $1,495, so we're more than doubling it.
You make me sick. I love it.
Everything's relative, but that one will do well for us this month and next.
Yeah,
hopefully.
exactly.
But it was just things like that, because normally I would say, I'm not giving you a key because you can't have a key.
Well, I still don't want to give them a physical key. That's the thing. I still never want to give them a physical key. So if we're talking now an internal door, okay, an internal door that they need access to, is that what we're talking about as well?
It's the garage, and it's that door that goes to the garage. So we don't have a Vivint lock on it because we've never needed it.
Okay, but let me show you what I'm gonna show you how to resolve that problem without it necessarily being a Vivint lock. And not only is it not a Vivint lock, it's a solution you can do yourself, because I've done it, which means you can do it because you are way more handy than I. Well, and let's see, because I just ordered like 2 or 3 more of these, in fact, because it worked so well. So I'm going to pull this up for you as soon as I sign into my Amazon account, apparently. Okay, there we go. Where is it? These, here they are. So can you, all right. Oh, this is beautiful. I can see you can see my screen. This is great. All right, fired up right now. Anyway, this is this right here. It's a Quickset Z-Wave Smart Code lock. These locks are any lock that has Z-Wave technology. Okay, that's the key words. Any locks that have Z-Wave technology are compatible with the Vivint door pad or panel. So you can, if you can find a Z-Wave a Z-Wave lock, you can install it yourself, and once it's installed, you'll be able to connect it to the panel. You'll have to call in to the customer service and ask them for that you need, forgot the name of the access, but you'll need the
installer's toolbox.
Installer toolbox, yes, that's it. And then you'll be able to then add that lock to the whole system. So now you won't actually need a physical key for that anymore, and it'll just be internal. And you will be able to control it again once they have app access. Again, they'll be able to control it from their phone, or you can give it a completely separate 4-digit code, even if you want it to, or whatever code you like.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I've used those a number of times as well because I had to do something. So it's good. Oh, this is so great.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, it'll cut into the profit for this month if I have to buy the lock, but
yes, but you'll be okay.
We'll still be good. But you're telling me to do it. Okay.
I am telling you to do it because otherwise you end up with the key, and that's a security concern. I'd rather spend the $200 for the. Actually, it's on sale for $181.16, so I'm used to $200. Anyway, I would rather spend that than give them a key. Yes, a key is cheaper, but a key is not more secure. That's the problem.
Yeah. Understood. Okay.
Cool.
I will go make it happen. Thank
Awesome.
you, sir.
Yeah, you are welcome. Thanks for testing, guys. Oh, I'm so fired up today because I'm having lots of fun with it. So we are well past the time where we normally go today. So let me ask, I'm going to answer some more of the questions that I see inside the Facebook group, and then I guess we'll be done. I don't even know. I kind of don't want to end because I'm like, oh, this is working so well. All right, let me see where we go. Except the part where the questions from this Facebook group are not appearing, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It could be, I don't know. Dave, I'm hoping he's still here. I have no idea. Dave, is that a secret group or a closed group? I don't know. Maybe that could be the reason why those questions aren't appearing over here. I have no idea. Anyway, something to ponder. Let me see. Richie, what's up? Yay, technology, no doubt. Gamer says, I like this new system. Me too. We totally agree with what John, our long people have similar requests. Also never thought about giving mobile access to the garage. Well, yep. Our people have been in for about 7 weeks and they keep extending on a stay that was supposed to only be 3 weeks. Yep. They extend all the time. Susan says they are stressed, scared, and yes, craving stability. Their routines have just been upended and upset. Yeah, and we humans are usually not fond of change. Yep, 100%. Maria, nice to know. Have a quick sec lock for an internal lock for guest use, but not a Z-Wave. Yeah, it has to be Z-Wave in order for it to work and be remotely accessible with all of the rest of the system, Maria. So if it's Z-Wave, you can make it. In fact, so take this. Because here, and I haven't tested this, but this is theoretically possible. Anything that has Z-Wave technology can be connected to Vivint. So there are some plugs and outlets that are Z-Wave. There are light switches that are now Z-Wave. So here's what I'm saying. Imagine if at around your departure time, say 11 o'clock, the electricity, quote unquote, stopped working. Could you imagine what would happen if at 11, all the lights went off and the guest was like, yo, what happened? Well, you're supposed to be gone, buddy. And again, all of these are things that can be done remotely. So just sit with that, because I know when I get excited about stuff like that. So just sit with that for a moment. I think you'll understand why I'm happy. Anyway, Linda, great call. Starting to love technology. I love technology. I like using it when it can help us be closer, help me, help more people. So this is kind of cool. Practically your own radio station now. Yeah. Kind of guess so. Well, it's at least a net show. That is 100% correct. So before we go, I'm going to review a couple of things that I wanted to make sure that, in case you got here late, because I want to make sure that everybody knows. One, the first thing is we're doing this help me, help you, help me. What do I mean by that? I have said go to networking events. I want you to go. And my BNI chapter, we're having a contest for number of guests. So what I am asking you to do is to become and be a guest at my BNI chapter this Thursday, 7 a.m. Is what I'm asking. Breakfast is $20. We're at the Talega Golf Club. Yes, I know it's a drive for many of you to come down to San Clemente. You're coming to a golf course, and it is Southern California. It's going to be awesome. And the bacon is great, because that's important, at least to me. And I'm going to show you how to leverage this system to help you be able to get additional services and more direct bookings for sure. Also, this Thursday at 11, Pacific time, 11 Pacific time, we are going to be having our, I did it again. We're going to be having a training all around making sure that, that's the wrong screen, but you got it this time. Anyway, we're going to be having a training all around data. the data that can help you earn more money. Answers the question. So what do I mean? What I mean is understanding when you look at that and you go, oh, 62% occupancy. That's for the last 30 days. Many of you instinctively, you go, oh, that's horrible. All right. And to some degree, I would agree with you. That's not that great. However, at the same time, and those with that 62% occupancy, where it's a little over $100,000. Now, until I tell you that this is only measuring one platform, you don't finally have a picture to go, oh, okay, well, maybe it isn't that bad. But understanding what to do when you see data like this, how to gather data like this, and make sure that you interpret data properly. For example, things like your conversion rate, time to conversion, why do they matter? How do you have that turn into more revenue? Do you have too many people on your staff? Do you have a staff at all? What hours do you need a staff so that you can make sure that your payroll stays in line? All of these things and more, we're going to be talking about this Thursday at 11 o'clock. So go to cashflowdiary.com/analytics. Again, that's cashflowdiary.com/analytics. Looking forward to seeing you there and helping you learn more about how to take this business to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun, like really genuine, lots of fun today, talking to you, using all my new toys. And I definitely appreciate your patience with some of the audio challenges and things that we had going on. But I'm also hoping that you grew from this today too, and that you see that we're committed to helping you as well. I look forward to talking to you guys again, and until next time.